What's going on, everyone? So Las Vegas Summer League is officially here, and I won't be going today because it's sold out because of Victor Wembanyama's appearance, but I definitely plan on going the next few days. So if you're at Summer League, I'll make an announcement, stuff like that when I'm there. But if you're in Summer League and you see me, please, by all means, feel free to come say hello. If not, no worries. But talking about the players, I'm excited for the players. I'm excited to see how they grow, mature. Obviously, they lost both of their games in the California Classic, but it's not really about wins and losses. Yes, I would love for the Lakers to win Summer League because that would be pretty cool, but that's what it's about. It's about seeing what these players are made of, the guys that are on two-way deals, the guys that have potential to make the roster, guys that are already on the roster, right? Our rookies like a Lewis, Schifino, guys like that. The Lakers are really just nice and sprinkled with some very nice young talent on the roster already. And then you look at these guys like Max Christie, Schifino, Lewis, Castleton, Scottie Pippen Jr., right? Cole Schwider is a real fan favorite for many. You look at all these players and you're like, man, like they are stacked with young talent. The development team really just has their work cut out for them and trying to create these players in our farming system and all that stuff. And it's exciting, and I'm excited to see how these guys perform come Summer League. Now, Colin Castleton is where I kind of want to start. I love what we've seen from him, right? We've seen his ability to just play both sides of the ball. We've seen his ability to make plays for others and his ability to block shots. We've seen his ability to run the floor, which is massive. I actually don't mind him at all making the roster. He is on a two-way, so they could bring him back and forth. But if they wanted to give him like a full roster spot, maybe give another guy a two-way, because the Lakers fill out the roster with the new CBA and everything like that, then they can have three two-way guys. So you could bring him in, go sign like a veteran big, whoever that may be. The well is really drying up, but maybe go get a veteran big and then kind of give Colin Castleton minutes here and there. I really like his game. I really can see him potentially being like a Marc Gasol type. Not saying that he will be to the, grit and grind Grizzlies Marc Gasol. If he comes anywhere close to that, then, the Lakers got an absolute steal in the undrafted market. But can he be even like a quarter of that, right? Marc Gasol was tremendous, a defensive player of the year, a guy that could make plays for others that you could just dump the ball down to in the post and let him go to work, a guy that could knock down the mid-range, which we've seen Colin Castleton be able to do already. If he can just get the ability to stretch it out a little farther and knock down threes, it doesn't have to be elite, but just consistent enough to where teams have to respect it, then the Lakers could have an absolute home run on their hands. He is real nice when it comes to the game of basketball. And the good notes as far as his potential to become a three-point shooter, I really think are high, because we've seen him be able to knock down mid-range shots, elbow shots, stuff like that. But we've also seen him be able to shoot the free throws at a very efficient clip. Usually that's a good sign that the guy can shoot. He just needs to develop the length to the three-point line, bring it out to the three. If he can do that, then now you have a legit two-way player, a guy that can defend, a guy that can bring the ball up on the break, a guy that can get a rebound, go coast to coast, like make plays for others. You could just dump the ball down to him and let him kind of play in like a Draymond role, right? Where he's making plays for others out of the post. That has value, right? I really like Colin Castleton, and I'm really excited to kind of see how does he look over the course of the Vegas, right? He got 2 games. He looked solid in those 2 games, especially once he started getting comfortable and settled in. We got to see him kind of finish through contact, stuff like that. But now he's going to get at least a handful of games. We're going to get a better look, a better sample size, and then we can kind of look back and go like, hey, yeah, this is that dude, or yeah, he still needs some work. He's not a guy that's going to come in and light the league on fire by any means, but I do think he's a guy that if you put him in the game for 10 minutes, he can hold his own and will be fine. And that has value, in my opinion. Max Christie continues to show that he's for real, that he is a legit NBA player, and he's too good for Summer League. And you're seeing that with these second-year players, which is what you want to see. Even guys like Keegan Murray is out here just having his way. Max Christie is out here having his way. Max Christie's just coasting and just kind of there on the court at times, right? Like, he's not going 100%. He's not going anywhere close to that. And he's still dropping 25 a game and stuff. Like, I mean, he could easily go and drop 50 if he wants to. I mean, he's shooting at like a 55% clip, right? He was like, 3 or 4 or 4 or 5, something like that from 3 last game. He's really shown the ability to be a legit two-way player. And maybe potentially be this year's Austin Reeves, right? The guy that year 2 takes that step, takes that leap, and ends up becoming a quality rotation guy. Especially at the 2 guard, we don't really have, like, when you look at the Lakers roster, the 2 guard is probably the one position where you're like, outside of center, of course, we definitely need centers, but the 2 guard, it's kind of like, all right, like, it's a little thin, right? D'Lo obviously has the ability to play the 2 guard. Austin Reeves is going to start. Gabe, he could play the 2 if you want, but he's 6'2", 6'3", and then also hasn't been a great shooter outside of the playoffs. He was great in the playoffs, but during the regular season, he was a little rough. Probably best to just kind of stick him and keep him as the backup point guard. But you do have D'Lo who could fill in that role with his ability to shoot and play off the ball. He was really good playing off the ball for the Lakers. And then even Taurean Prince with his, 6'7" size, he could play the 2 guard if you needed to. But there might actually be minutes at the 2 spot for Max Christie if he can perform and kind of have the success we're seeing in the G League or in the Summer League translate to the NBA. So I'm definitely looking forward to see him kind of progress and continue. I'm curious also to see how much does he actually play in the Las Vegas Summer League. I don't think he gets like heavy minutes, but who knows? Could be wrong. Next up, Schifino, right? So I've seen a lot of like mixed feelings on Schifino from people. A lot of people are like, yeah, he's kind of just like going downhill. Like, yeah, he's shown the ability to get to the basket and stuff, but he's not really like operating as the point guard the way that, we would like as like a traditional point, like the playmaking point guard. But the Lakers have said, and even if you watched the first Summer League game, even the commentators made a point of this, that the Lakers basically gave Schifino the green light. They want to see what he can do as like a scorer and as a guy that can get from A to B, right? From basket to basket. And that's what you're seeing him do. Yes, he's not setting guys up the way that we would like him to, but you have D'Lo, you have Reeves, who they want to play point guard and they want to give him more ball handling duties. You have LeBron James, who the ball is going to be in his hand a good majority of the time. And then also, Gabe Vincent, right? So the Lakers are fine as far as like ball handling duties go and just the ability to set other guys up. Not saying that I don't want to see Schifino evolve into that, but at least this year, if he is going to get playing time, it's going to be because of what we've seen in Summer League. His ability to get the rebound and go coast to coast. His ability to use his size and his strength to bump the defender and finish through contact. All of those things we have seen from him. His ability to knock down the mid-range and knock down the floater. His three-point shooting hasn't been great, but can he get it to a respectable clip? He, again, has an opportunity to kind of be the 2 guard and get some quality minutes in that position if he can continue to do what he has shown in Summer League. The Lakers want him to play the way he's been playing in Summer League. If they told him, hey, we want to see you be more of a playmaker, then I'm sure he would be more of a playmaker. And I'm not saying he hasn't gotten any assists. Like, the guy is still setting guys up, but he has been more aggressive and he has been going downhill more and he has been kind of getting to the basket, right? That's what they want him to be. They want him to kind of be a bigger Dennis Schroeder, a guy that can be a point of attack guard as well as a guy that can get to the basket, finish at the rim, and then maybe, get some drive and kick action. Maybe get some pick and roll action, stuff like that. So he has shown the flashes of what the Lakers are at least asking of him, at least in Summer League, right? Once he actually gets on the roster and we get into training camp and stuff, maybe that changes a little bit. Maybe that's just kind of what they want to see with him against this level of talent to see if is he there yet to be able to translate to like playing in the NBA if he got 10 minutes a game or something like that. But we'll see. I want to continue to see what we can get from him. He's been very solid in my opinion. That game 1, that first half of game 1, he looked rough. He didn't have a turnover in that game. He did have 5 in game 2, so he needs to clean that up. But Once he got settled in, once he kind of like just took a breath, you saw what he can be. And that carried over into game 2, and he was great in game 2. So I want to see that continue, and I'm excited for him. Lewis. We need to get more run for Lewis, and we need to get more plays and sets. He looks giant out there. He looks, or at least to me, compared to everyone else standing around, and maybe it's just like the teams they've played and the guys that are around him, but he just looks so much bigger than everybody. Like, he looks bigger than 6'7", in my opinion. I'm curious to see if maybe he is. Maybe he's closer to 6'8", something like that. But regardless, like, he is supposed to be your typical 3-and-D guy, and a guy that has the athleticism, the versatility, the scoring, everything, right? He's a guy that many believe is the steal of the draft. And I'm not even talking about Laker fans. I'm talking about like analysts and draft experts and all that stuff. A lot of people really believe that Lewis was top 15 talent in this draft, and the Lakers got him at 40. And a lot of people think out of Schifino and Lewis, Lewis is going to be the guy. Like, he has the potential to be one of their, if not their best players in the next, 3-4 years. And so I would like to see them kind of showcase him a little more, especially since he's a guy that's actually on the roster, right? I want to see them kind of set him up. Now, to be fair, he has been a little passive. There have been a couple times where he's gotten the ball like in the corner or whatever and kind of been wide open, and instead of just shooting it, has kicked it out. I do think, though, if he does play for the Lakers at any point during this season, Darvin Ham will give him the green light. We've seen what Darvin Ham likes to do with guys that can shoot. Like, hey, you catch, don't think about, just shoot it. Don't think about it. Shoot the ball. And Lewis, I think, will get that green light if he plays or in the minutes that he plays. And I think he needs to just shoot that thing, right? Show us what you got, right? Like, that doesn't mean just take willy-nilly shots and just be silly with it. But, if you're open, shoot the ball. If you can get your defender off the dribble and get it to the basket, use your athleticism, your size, and your ability to finish to do so. But I'd like to see them kind of call his number in Vegas. I'm hoping that they do, because I just feel like we haven't really gotten a good gauge on him at all. Like, I don't know if he's good. I don't know if he's bad. I don't know if he's somewhere in between. This guy could be the best player in the league for all I know. Not really, but get my point. My point is, like, this guy, we can't really get a gauge on because he's not really getting an opportunity, and I'd like to see him kind of get that opportunity. But he also needs to be more aggressive as well. So hopefully that works out. But last but not least, Hodge, another two-way guy, potential to make the roster. Basically your KCP 2.0. He's had some nice flashes, some nice moments, but again, another guy I'd like to see kind of get highlighted a bit. He has potential to be a legit two-way player. He's a guy that I actually wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers gave a little run, again, at that two-guard spot. 6'4", right? Solid, really good defender, and can shoot that thing. Shot at 40% from three. So if he can, not saying he'll shoot 40% from three his rookie season with the Lakers, but, I mean, you never know. In a small sample size, maybe. You've seen lots. I mean, Max Christie shot at 41, almost 42%. In a small sample size, so can he do the same thing? But even if he's just 37%, right? Like, that's really good, right? If he's in spots and he's in moments, let him get some run. I really want to see the guys that are on the two-ways, the guys that are on the roster, get the shine, right? Like, Figueroa has been playing and doing everything, and it's like, this guy isn't going to be on the roster. This guy might not even be on the G League team. Like, why are we highlighting guys that don't have the likelihood or potential to make the roster? And I get maybe the counter argument to that is like, how do you know unless you highlight these guys, right? Like Hodge and Christie and Schifino and Lewis and Castleton and these guys, they're very likely going to be on the roster or, on a two-way. So they're going to be going back and forth. I get that, but you're trying, like, you can't focus and try to build, 20 young guys at once, right? You got to kind of pick your spots. And I just think you have Schifino, you have Hodge, you have Lewis, you have Christie, you have Castleton. Why aren't those 5 playing 90% of the games? Like, those are the 5 guys that are either going to be on the roster or going to be on two ways. Those are the guys that I think need to be getting a bulk of the opportunity. Like Cole Schwider, I know some people want him on the roster. He's not ready. And it's blatantly obvious. He is good at one thing and one thing only, shooting the 3 ball. Outside of that, he hasn't shown the ability for anything else, in my opinion. Right? Like, he's not a good defender. He's not quick on his feet. He's, 6'9", but he might as well be 5'9". He just doesn't use his length. He literally provides nothing but shooting the 3 ball. And look, he is great at that. He can shoot the thing out that ball. Believe me. But if you could give me, let's say Schwider can knock down right now on the NBA. Let's say he makes the roster and he can knock it down 41%, right? Which is really good. On, let's say, like 5 attempts per game. That'd be really good, right? If Hodge can shoot 37%, but at on 5 attempts per game, yes, that's less than 41%, but at least Hodge can play defense. He can make plays. He can penetrate, get to the basket. He can use his quickness. He does more than just shoot the ball. I'd rather have a guy that, yes, he's not as good of a shooter, but he can do more, right? Like, just watching the 2 games that you've seen on Schwider, who's playing heavy minutes, he's not going to make the roster. Maybe the Lakers bring him up and down and, just kind of have him floating around just in case, a moment happens or whatever. And could Schwider be a guy that maybe they just add to the 15th spot, because it's like, hey, let's have a Matt Ryan type guy, games on the line. We need a 3 at the end, throw him in, give him an opportunity, right? Maybe, but I'd rather go with guys that in a pinch can provide multiple things for the team. But anyway, those are my thoughts and opinions. And as always, I pass the question on to you. Let me know yours down in the comments below. Excited for Summer League? What do you think? Who are you excited to see? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, let me know down in the